Hello everyone, welcome to the 7th TA session for Drug Delivery Principles and Engineering. I hope all of you can see my screen and hear my voice. Can someone confirm?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so we'll start with the session and in the last week, basically the different routes of delivery was covered: oral, subcutaneous, intramuscular, transdermal, and their advantages and disadvantages. All of those things were discussed, and this assignment will also basically cover these topics. Here we have our first question: which of the following is not a parenteral route of drug administration? You have to select two correct options here. The options are intradermal, subcutaneous, intravenous, oral, intramuscular, nasal, rectal, or intraarticular.
Oral and rectal.
Okay. Anybody else? Anyone else would like to answer? We have to select among the options which is not a parenteral route of drug administration. Okay. Oral and rectal are the correct options. So parenteral here means something that is administered or occurring elsewhere other than mouth or the alimentary canal. So here all the options apart from oral and rectal are part of which are part of mouth and the alimentary canal. All of them are parenteral route. So these two options will be the correct answer. Here is the second question. What are the two most important sites for drug elimination?
Kidney and liver.
Okay. Anybody else? It's okay if you give wrong answers, but please try to participate. Two most important sites for drug administration, drug elimination. Two most important sites for drug elimination. Yes, kidney and liver would be the correct answer. They are one of the major organs involved. Kidney will mostly helps in filtration and secretion, and liver helps in metabolism and then secretion. some of the minor organs like lungs and all other sweat, skin, basically saliva and all those things are involved, but those are minor ones. Most important would be the kidney and liver. Okay, the third question, which of the following routes of administration has the least bioavailability for an acid labile drug?
Option 1, oral.
Okay, anybody else? Oral. Okay, yes, both of you are correct. It would be oral. So here it is asking for the bioavailability of acid labile drug, and or if you administered by oral route, it will get degraded by the stomach acid, and it will be least bioavailable. Okay, we are on to the fourth question now. Which of the following mechanisms are not commonly used for permeation enhancement in transdermal delivery systems?
Surgery.
Okay, yes, anybody else would like to answer? Which of these is not commonly used for permeation enhancement in transdermal delivery systems? Okay, the correct answer is surgery. Apart from these, the other options are already used for are already the commonly used method for permeation enhancement. So there are several chemicals like DMSO, propylene glycols, and some surfactants that can be used, but it is used in a permissible limit so that it is non-toxic. And then bombardment, you photochemical energy, all of these are used. But when you are using surgery, you are basically uh, You'll be basically cutting through the skin to enhance the permeation, which defeats the purpose of the transdermal delivery. So, surgery won't be one of the methods that enhances the permeation. Besides, it's not going to enhance anything. Okay, here is the fifth question. What kind of drug is not a good candidate for transdermal delivery? You have to select two correct options here.
Low partition coefficient and high molecular weight.
Okay,
Option 1 and 4.
okay. Anybody else? Yes, both of you are correct. It would be low partition coefficient and high molecular weight. So it needs for permeability through the skin, you need a very high partition coefficient, and that should have some hydrophilicity so that it can traverse through both water and oil. And then only low molecular weights, there is a certain range above which it is not very useful, is not a good candidate for transdermal delivery. So low partition coefficient and high molecular weight are not good candidates for good things in a drug for transdermal drug delivery. Okay, enteric coating are likely to release drug at two different at 2 pH out of these options. Which of these do you think is the correct answer?
Last two option.
Okay,
Option 5 and 6.
okay.
Option 5 and 6.
Okay. Anybody else would like to answer? Option 5 and 6. Okay. Okay. Most of all of you are correct. It would be option 5 and 6. pH 8 and pH 11. So enteric coating is basically when a thin film of uh, coating is applied onto your drug so that it does not dissolve at stomach acidic pH in the stomach, but it releases at a higher pH, that is in the small intestine. So carboxylic acid based uh, polymers are used for these enteric coating, which they get protonated at this acidic pH, and these protonated form has low solubility, but as soon as it enters into the small intestine, it gets deprotonated due to the change in the pH, and then it gets soluble and the coating gets dissolved, and then you get the drug release at the higher pH in the small intestine. So any pH above 8, basically both the options pH 8 and 11 would work. Okay, we have our next question here. The first barrier that is encountered with transdermal delivery system is.
Option 2.
Okay,
Stratum corneum.
okay,
Ma'am, option 2.
okay. Anybody else would like to answer? The first barrier that is encountered in transdermal delivery system. Okay. Okay, all of you are correct. It would be stratum corneum. It is basically the first layer, and that is the most that is the first barrier that is encountered by the drugs when injected through transdermal route. Here is the eighth question. The major problem of transdermal drug delivery route is.
Option
Option
2 and 4.
2 and 4. Okay,
Option 2 and 4.
okay. Anyone else? Yes, option 2 and option 4 are correct. Uh, the transdermal route, so that it only allows very small dose of administration, because the, as this is the first barrier, but then the skin itself is very thin layer, and then you have the subcutaneous layer and the muscle layer, so this has very less space to accumulate year drug, so very small dose of administration is only allowed. And then molecular weight greater than 1000 Dalton cannot traverse through this intracellular, intercellular or transcellular route. So these drugs also cannot be given. That's why these are the major problems. Small drug administration is not possible. Sorry, only small doses of administration is possible, and drugs with molecular weight 1000 Dalton cannot be given. Okay, we have our ninth question here. Which one statement is false for bioadhesives?
Three.
Option 3.
Okay,
Option 3.
okay, anybody else would like to answer? Which is false for bioadhesives? Okay, all of you are correct. It would be the third option. Chemically bonded bioadhesives are most highly recommended is a false statement for bioadhesives. Bioadhesives, they basically slow down the formulation transit time, designed to slow down, but then mostly chemical bonds like covalent hydrogen van der Waals, these are used, but not very recommended due to their compatibility issues. And physical entanglement of polymer with mucus based bioadhesives are also recommended. Okay, here is the 10th question. Which one of these is an advantage of oral administration?
Option 5.
Okay,
Option 5.
okay, anybody else would like to answer? Okay, option 5 is the correct answer, ease of administration. Okay, this was all the questions I had for today. If anybody, if, for those who joined late, if you want, we can start from the starting again, or this is it for today's session. Anybody has any doubts? Anybody has any doubts or would like to discuss any question again? Or if you want me to repeat from the start again, also you can let me know. This was the first question we discussed today. Which of the following is not a parenteral route of drug administration? The correct answer would be oral and rectal. Parenteral route basically is a route wherein the drug is administered anywhere apart from mouth or alimentary canal. So basically mouth or oral and rectal, which is part of the alimentary canal, are not parenteral route. The second question was, what are the two most important sites for drug elimination? Correct answer here would be kidney and liver. These are the major organs. Apart from that, some minor organs like lungs, sweat, saliva, and all of these things are also involved. Third question was, which of the following routes of administration has the least bioavailability for an acid labile drug? So if the drug is acid labile, then it can easily degrade in the acidic pH of the stomach, and only in the oral route it will go directly to the stomach. So uh, the if you are administering through oral route, it will have the least bioavailability. So is the next question, which of the following mechanisms are not commonly used for permeation enhancement in transdermal delivery systems? And from these options, surgery would be the correct answer. All the other options, iontophoresis, electroporation, ultrasound, photochemical energy, bombardment, and chemical enhancers like DMSO, all of these are involved in enhancement of permeation of drug when administered through transdermal delivery. This was the fifth question. What kind of drug is not a good candidate for transdermal delivery? And the two correct options here would be low partition coefficient and high molecular weight. For a good candidate for transdermal delivery, it should have a high partition coefficient, and for both water and it should have both high partition coefficient and low molecular weight so that it can traverse through the transdermal barriers. Thus, low partition coefficient and high molecular would not serve as a good candidate. Next question was enteric coating are likely to release drugs at 2 out of these 2 pH. So enteric coatings are basically coatings that do not dissolve at are not soluble at acidic pH but are soluble uh, in a basic pH such as in small intestine. So if you coat your drug with polymer containing carboxylic acids, they get protonated at low solubility of the acidic they get protonated at the low pH of stomach acid, and thus they have low solubility, so they do not dissolve. But at higher pH of the intestine, they get deprotonated and then they are soluble, so the coating gets dissolved and the drug is released. So pH greater than 8 and greater than 11 would lead to dissolution of these coatings and release of drug. Then the next question was the first barrier that is encountered with transdermal delivery system. So this is a factual question. So the answer is stratum corneum. It is the first layer and the very first barrier for transdermal delivery. This was the next question. The major problem of transdermal drug delivery route is, so here you have to select 2 correct options, and those are small dose of administration is only possible, and drugs with molecular weight greater than 1000 Dalton cannot be given. This was the next question. Which one statement is false for bioadhesives? Chemically bonded bioadhesives are most highly recommended. This option is false. Other than that, all the options are correct. It is designed to slow formulation transit time, can form bonds such as hydrogen bonding and van der Waals, and can also depend on physical entanglement of polymer with mucus. The chemically bonded bioadhesives are questionable because of their biocompatibility, so they are not highly recommended, but they do exist. So it is one of the false statements for bioadhesives. This was the last question. Which one of the following is an advantage of oral administration? And the correct answer here would be ease of administration. Okay, any questions or any doubts? Anybody has any questions or wants me to go through any question or has any doubts from anything else that has been taught so far? We have already discussed all the questions today. For those who join now, I'll just quickly go through all the slides. You can let me know if you have any doubts in any of them. If nobody has any doubts, then we'll close the session here.